everyone, it's Cathy Zielske for Simon Says Stamp, back for another installment of Easy with me, CZ. Today I have a really fun little gift tag project for the holidays. If you're someone who loves to create handmade tags, check out the video for a really fun idea. Let's get started. The stamp set I'll be using to create my tag today is called Let It Snow, and it's a multi-step stamping set. There's one large snow that you could actually put on a larger tag, but I am going to focus more on this smaller snowman snow globe to create a small tag. So let's get started with stamping. If you have your layering stamps, and sometimes you find it a little tricky to figure out how to line it up, one thing you can do is purposefully stain your stamps. And here's what I mean by that. I'm going to pick one of my deepest colors of ink. Now, sometimes you'll probably have this happen when you have deep toned inks. I'm going to use, and especially reds, I'm going to use some Simon Says Stamp Cherry, right? And I'm just going to let that sit for a second, right? Then I'm just going to wipe it off. Because a lot of times, if you've ever used reds or something like that, sometimes they will appear to stain your stamp. But the reality is they're not really staining it. I mean, it's seeping in a little, but once you clean off your stamps, it's going to work perfectly for lining things up. You can see there's a bit of a stain there, and that's actually very helpful for lining things up with stamps like this. Let's see, I'm going to put my background here first, and I might as well do two at once, but I'm going to use some very cool colors today for my piece. I'm going to use a little peachy for the nose, and let's see how this works out. All right, we're going to pick this up with my Misty Door, okay, and press that up. And now I think I will start with, I'm going to go with the SEAFOAM for the background. So just ink up your stamp. I guess the stain doesn't really matter as much on the first one because the background is going to always be my starting layer. We'll pick that up, and I'm going to stamp it one more time just to get a nice soft blue background. And while I'm at it, I'm going to flip this and make a couple tags at once. Next, I'm going to add the scarf and the nose. And because it's a little stained, this is going to be a bit easier to see exactly where it goes. So you're going to get in here, just kind of push it around until you can see where you have your scarf lined up. I would strongly recommend grabbing some sort of low-tack tape here, and I'll show you why, because I want to isolate my colors. I've got some of the Simon Says Stamp very, very low-tack tape, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look at that really quick. Yeah, that's going to be just fine. Pick it up, reposition, right? And I'm going to take a tiny bit of this tape to create a mask over my snowman scarf, because you don't want that to get inked up. I am just looking to get orange on the nose. What I'm going to do is take my peachy pad, ink up my carrot nose there, right? Give it a good press, and then to avoid getting ink all over your hands, just lift that up, get it out of the way, and stamp the nose like that. Isn't that cute? And then you can repeat. Okay, but don't use the same tape. And you can do this with any stamp when you're trying to isolate a color, right? Just ink that up really well. Take off that friend and bring it down. And now I have perfectly stamped carrot nose. I will flip and repeat. Once I've got the noses on, I'll clean off the nose. And then we're just going to repeat that process for the scarf. Cover that nose. I'm going to take Simon Says Stamp Lilac in the Pawsitively Everything formula, which is what and now that just came up, and that's probably fine. Let's go ahead and add one layer, and it's totally fine. We're going to do it again. Pick it up, and just keep going as many times as you need to get your scarf looking, well, Beautiful. So now it's time to stamp the little overlay. And this, having the stain also makes it nice, but another thing that helps you line this up is making sure that the eyes are above the snowman's nose. So just kind of look through like that, right? So you can see it. Now, you can always stamp this on a piece of acetate, but I'm not that concerned. I think this will be just fine. His eyes are going to be in the right position. And I'm just going to stamp this in basic Memento Tuxedo Black. And bring it down, and I'll probably stamp this twice just for a nice inky outline. And the thing is, if you're offset a little on either side, it doesn't matter because the die is designed to cut out the snow globe. So that way you're going to get a perfect little cut. If you like the idea of coloring in your snowman hat, super easy. Just take the darkest marker you have. I prefer to use Copics because I know it's not going to pill up. I have this marker that's an N10. And, oh, let me show you the other side. I have replaced many of my chisel nibs with these bullet nibs. And the reason why is it just makes it easier for me to stay in the lines. So if you want that snowman's hat to be black, or if you're one of those fancy Copic artists, you know, you can get a little fancier, but it's very easy to color it in if you prefer that look. I just like the outline, but then I realized how easy it was to color it in. Next, I'll go ahead and cut these out. I'll just take a little of my very low tack tape to hold the dies in place. And I just kind of focus on the base, and then I figure it's going to look just fine. It's going to be a little more on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these out so we can continue building our tags. Once your little tags are cut out, you can stamp on the back. Now, I have this old set called Let's Make a Tag, and it has these to and froms. I actually love how stained that is because I can actually see it. I can put that stamp on the back of my little block, flip these over, and even though there's a little Copic show through, that's fine. I can do it either in the lilac color, right, like that, or I could do it in black. Another way to avoid, if you do use a Copic color, I'm going to cut a backer so I can glue that on here. All right, I'm just going to cover that up quite easily with a backer layer. And this is so easy to do, just a little glue. I mean, you could even do it with tape runner. You don't have to be super fancy. Just make sure you get the edges, right, so it stays in place. And that's only if you use an alcohol marker and if that bothers you. Pop it on and line it up. You could do this anyway just to add a little more heft and dimension to your gift tag, right? Okay, so little ink up and press. Little ink up and press. Ah, so cute, right? If you want to get really fancy, you can take a white Jelly Roll pen and just put extra snow in and around by just dotting it. And now you can see just little bits of snow floating around. I went ahead and used my Crocodile little hole punch here to cut holes out through the tags. Isn't that cute? And I love the Crocodile for this because this bad boy can cut through pretty much anything. And then I've just got a couple pieces of twine, right? And this is just some baker's twine that I have laying around. You can use your tweezers for this, and it helps to push it through so that you can get your hands on it. At least I think it does. Yeah. And then you can take this out like this and just do your little loop-de-doo. And then you have your little tag that you can tie onto a package, write who it's to, who it's from. You could just make a whole bunch of these in multiple colors, and then you can pick, you know, maybe you have some black and white wrapping paper, or just sort of match the colors that your inks are. I think this is such a fun idea. I hope this inspires you to check out the stamp set and consider making some very cute little holiday snow globe tags for your packages this holiday season. You can find links to all of the supplies I used in this video below in the YouTube description box. Be sure to subscribe to the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel so you don't miss all the good crafty inspiration we share every week.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.